million today. Damn, who doesn't have 2 million? This is stupid. How's it going? I am back. I want to discuss my last video 6 days ago because I got some unusual attention. I'm still talking with people in the comments, so it took me 6 days because I've been pretty busy, been out. Got some suntan here. I'm going to read one comment here, and this comment got 46 replies. All of your nervous tics, you're laughing at nothing out of nowhere, your failed logic at evaluating that news article, and he never did talk about that. No one talked about the logic. No one ever does. See, I am Mr. Logic. I was called that in the 80s. Just can't touch it. You are obviously going through some severe neurological damage. I just noticed this recently. Notice he throws in the word severe. You don't really need to, but he throws it in. That's hyperbole. I think you need B12 shots. You need to see a doctor. Then he gives a link about good fats and B12. Brain fuel. Okay. And then he goes on to say, a recent study on brain shrinkage. Actually, it's called having a brain that's not inflamed. And vegans and vegetarians had significantly hyperbole, smaller brains than those who ate red meat. Red meat that'll inflame you. That'll give you inflammation. I think I got a picture. When I made that video, I saved some outtakes that I was thinking of showing in my next video, and here I am. So I want to show these outtakes as evidence that I was simply in a funny mood. And also, I've always acknowledged that I have a lot of stress. I tend to do stressful things. I'm also very sensitive and have type A personality. It's not a brain disorder, it is a personality disorder. The topic of the video was just funny because it's ridiculous. And I emphasized that in the clips I showed at the end of that video. So I'm now going to show those at the beginning of this clip. And I'm going to do some more editing for more emphasis. See if you get why this is so funny. Here it is.
Has gone to court to defend her bikini body guide, her bikini body guide. Known as Freely the Banana Girl and Durian Rider. It's alleged she and her partner posted videos criticising Miss Itzinas and her bikini body guide.
We'll be riding our bikes to court.
The judge said he wanted the case to go to trial as quickly as possible.
And today it all came together at the courthouse. No. More serious. That line takes more serious tone. Okay, here it goes. That's nutty. Still on that fruitarian high trick. And today it all came together in... And today... and today... Oh, man. I think 3 times the newscaster said how Kaylee has over 2 million followers on Instagram. And I said, So I hope that evidence right there clears me of any suspicions of neurological damage. As for the laughing at nothing, that's sort of contagious laughter. So once you start laughing, it's hard to stop, especially when you're feeling really good, as fruitarians do. And it reminded me, those clips reminded me of bloopers you see with TV and movies. Matter of fact, I was just watching some bloopers recently on a DVD. You wouldn't think that the movie Pirates of the Caribbean would have bloopers, or at least usual, typical bloopers that you see elsewhere, like on sitcoms. But check out these clips.
You knew this. I did not. You knew this.
I did not.
Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. The East India Trading Company has need of your services. What is the East India East India That was dreadful.
Let's put some distance between us and this island and head out to open sea.
Yes to the first and yes to the second, but only so far as we keep to the... I'm just going to start a take again. Shall I after that?
They look like they're laughing at nothing. Okay, I got some more physical evidence here. Now this book, I found this book in the mid-90s, Type A behavior. This is where I learned. This is what I had. Bad for the heart. Now I'm 46, almost 47. I've had no heart troubles. Why? Because when I started developing these symptoms of stress and didn't know it was stress, I looked into diet instead. That didn't solve my stressful symptoms, muscle tension. But I got into stuff like this, and it might have just saved my heart. Now, I realized I had type A, which is, do you have a habit of explosively accentuating key words in your speech? Well, what's weird, that's just a coincidence. I just started doing that recently, just to be more entertaining, to keep people's attention. But I got the others. Do you always move rapidly? Do you feel impatient? Are you irritated at delay? You might think I'm crazy having these, but someone wrote a book about this. This describes almost half the people in the United States. This is a United States modern society problem. Does it bother you to watch someone else perform a task you know you can do faster. That sounds crazy. But a lot of people have that. And after a while, the stress builds up. Found this, and he says the reason for back pain or most muscle pain, which I have, is from stress, especially from the mind. And I learned how to relax the mind through meditations. I'm going to continue with this post here a little bit. So I guess the study was done by someone named Nora Glibberglobin. She sounds familiar. And I looked her up, and yeah, he makes it sound good here. Of course, they have a certified nutritional consultant, clinical biofeedback, BS specialist. I looked her up, and she is the author of the book Primal Body, Primal Mind, Paleo BS. The paleo diet's a scam. It's a well-marketed fad diet just designed to appeal to people. It's based around a whole bunch of fallacies that people won't see unless they watch my videos, for people in my community. The biggest fallacy is that we should eat like our ancestors. But they're talking about the ones that were living in caves in the ice and eating whatever they had to eat to survive. They were not living in their natural habitat, obviously. So why should we live anything like that? And we're not descended from them. We are still frugivores. The biggest brain in the vegan was already smaller than the smallest brain of someone on a normal diet. Wait, all the participants actually had B12 levels to be considered within normal range. So the problem wasn't B12, there wasn't a problem. Their brains simply are not inflamed. And what she said is evidence to that. It still suffered from breast treatments. No, we're not suffering. Our brains aren't inflamed. Been doing this 21 years. My brain's actually getting better. You should have seen me before I made videos. I couldn't have made videos. Look at my first video. These vegans suffering from brain shrinkage, atrophy, and bouts of aggression and anger. Probably, well, that is startling. And this makes me think of a clip of Governor Chris Christie that I like to show. He certainly doesn't have any shrinkage, and he is not a vegan, we know that. But let's take a look at this clip here and see how well he controls aggression, anger.
Now, sit down and shut up. Chris Christie gets Jersey fresh again. I'm a compassionate man. Are you stupid? You're in charge. Your job is to get something done. Sometimes it's by taking somebody out and giving them a beating.
Nora goes on to say, far and away the most intractable and damaged brains. I got to stop right there and say, far and away. Hyperbole in the way they talk. Intractable, damaging brains and nervous systems I have ever encountered have all been vegetarians, and especially vegans. That's me, especially. Notice this is sounding like just anti-vegan talk that we've all heard everywhere, especially YouTube. This isn't any kind of judgment. They're protecting themselves. Kind of like Harley does. I'm not hating anyone. This is the experience I've had. Well, I've been a vegan 21 years, and I'm here telling you my experience. She goes on further to say she just can't stop. I've had many neurologists also back channel me. Somebody tell me what that means. And agree with that particular observation. Why is it that paleos are so well known for attacking vegetarianism? How it's almost always paleo people. They seem to have some kind of a beef, an agenda to attack the vegetarian diet. So it doesn't matter what her credentials are and all that stuff. She's a human being. She's an anti-vegan. She sounds exactly like the others. She's trying to just make a convincing case that neurologists agree that it's always the vegans with the problems. Yeah. That reminds me, I wanted to mention, I didn't realize this would fit into the video, my low-carb housemate. I heard him on the phone talking about someone. Not sure who this is. I don't know if it's a relative, but he said last week, all my relatives in my family are fat. So this is a 70-year-old person. I got to assume she's fat. She was just rushed to the hospital because of something wrong with the brain, either a tumor or a cyst, something like that. I guarantee you that person's not a vegan. He doesn't know any vegans. I don't know any vegans. Well, it reminds me of that our video I did about Harley trying to get a neurologist appointment, and I pointed out that he pointed out that he couldn't get one. Was all neurologists in his region booked by vegans? It's ridiculous. Paleos are known for taking some facts and making a convincing case that's not true. Of course, so are politicians. If you follow politics like I do, see, if you don't, then you really don't know what's going on in the world. It's easy to fool people. It's just ridiculous. That's the post. Got 46 replies. Shall I read some of these replies and go through and see? I agree 100% with this comment. Look, Gary very obviously needs to see a medical professional. That was even hard to read because there's so many unnecessary hyperbolic words. Watch for that, I keep saying in my videos. Watch for the extreme word. See, Gary is fun. He's different. He's original. Also funny. That's, yeah, just trying to be funny. You guys sound like you think you know what you're talking about. We are looking at a guy who is malnourished. Every other raw vegan, vegetarian eater has put up their blood test. And here he is saying, I'm malnourished. Where's my blood test? Why do I need to be the last one to do it? I don't need to do it. I don't have the symptoms. So these two people here so far are saying it's obvious I have brain problems. What's funny is At the end of that video a week ago, I kind of poked fun at myself at how jittery and I am with the uncontrolled laughter. And at the end of the video I said, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. By the way, you might want to do that now before you forget. Unless you have a great vegan memory to do all that stuff. Thumbs up, subscribe and share and comment. Sometimes Harley's videos are so good I forget to give them a thumbs up. Yeah, I said a thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs down if you think I need a V12 shot. It was for more comedy. How many thumbs down did I get? Well, let's see. Oh wow. Out of 200 views so far, I got 17 thumbs up and 7 thumbs down. So they say it's obvious, but only 3.5% of people agree that it's obvious. So I think it's obvious. What damage could a doctor's visit do? And I said that I once went in for a problem that was stress, and I didn't find out for years later. The doctor wasn't going to figure that out. They don't, those things don't show up in beakers, blood tests, whatever. So the doctor misdiagnosed me, which is dangerous. This is where I started learning. This is early 90s when I was actually learning about true health and diet. Flaws in how I reason? Not really. And then I posted his flaws in his reasoning and how I reason. And then he posted a pic of Katy Perry. Stop being an idiot. He's trying to save a life. Thanks, doctor. I like to help vegans in any way I can. Good luck. You have a lot of work to do. Yep, we're all working. Yeah, someone said, this isn't work, trolling the internet. What is it? It's work. Everything's work. It's hard to say what my problem is because I haven't seen a doctor in a quarter century. Again, I say doctors give people false sense of security that the doctor knows everything. There's only one way to protect yourself. That's to live a healthy life. But a lot of people won't do that. That's why we have doctors and drugs. The majority of people in the world are on drugs right now. Do you realize that? Especially steroids. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, this is a good one. My friend is a shrink. I'm going to send this video to him and see what he says. Now that would be interesting. If this guy is legitimate, we'll find out when we get the expert opinion. And yes, I know that's circular logic. I spot that very easily, even when I do it. But other people can't do that. Making videos is hard. If you tried it, you would see. Don't criticize people unless you've tried this. Gary is entertaining. Otherwise, he wouldn't be any fun at all. I like that because it's true. I consider myself a boring person. That's why I'm now acting like this, just in the last few months. Like how I emphasize certain words keeps people's interest. I'm pretty monotone, my normal personality. So within this hour, new comments. And you see how conversations degrade. I'm not a troll of it. Period. That's the guy who says I have neurological damage. I'm not a troll of it. I'm trying to find any science that would back it up. Because all the science I've read so far on paleo things, I guess, because we know what's coming, demonstrates that veganism isn't so hot for you. And vegetarianism is just the next level of unbacked up, unbacked up belief over reality. Wow. Later on, someone else comes in that I do not know and said, I second, third, and fourth all the comments here about you needing to go see a doctor. First of all those comments were from just 3 people, I think, that I know well. And notice, I second, third, and fourth. Hyperbole. I've never heard that expression before. It's made up just for the anti-vegan movement. So that makes 4 people. Let's see. You barely make sense when you talk. This reminds me of some anti-vegans on YouTube. Have you people heard of Hello Rodney? And the Joe Trucker guy. That guy is scary. I don't even want to watch him anymore. But Rodney is... He seems like he's filming right out of a rubber room, and he looks like it. Then there's Jolita Brilliant. Nobody ever talks about her. Forget B12 deficiency. Have them look for a brain tumor. Really? There's also 2 comments in here suggesting that it's a big deal if you can touch your toes. I'm not sure. I don't know what they mean. Do they mean like this? Now, even with all my jitteriness, and nerve damage, and brain imbalance, I can do that. That's extremely good balance. And the 70-year-old in the hospital with the tumor, just, you could picture how she looks. When you picture someone with a brain tumor, you picture a fat person who could not do what I just did. Could not touch their toes. I also want to bring up my Twitter posts. A lot of my tweets have to do with, what's going on in the comments. So I think only my commenters will understand my tweets, which means almost nobody's understanding my tweets. They're pretty good. Maybe I'll put up some stuff right here. I got And follow me there too for some more crazy action. We'll shake up the internet.